to all our nerdy friends from the Nerdverse, welcome to the Nerdy Reads podcast. We read nerdy stuff such as sci-fi, fantasy books, comics, manga, and horror. We also discuss all other nerd things from around the globe. Today, we will venture into the Marvel universe and hop on the Deadpool bandwagon. That's right, we are not above trying to strike while the iron is hot, and if it's hot in the nerd space, then you know we're going to cover it. Today, we are covering Deadpool versus Wolverine, the deep end. We will also take a trip to the New Stuff Cafe where we'll eat chimichangas and discuss Deadpool and Wolverine movie, the one that just dropped. There's a comic corner, some nerdy news, and a lot of fun along the way. I am one of your hosts, Justin, and with me is my friend who always gives maximum effort. What's up, Robert?
That's the nicest thing you've ever said about me. What's going on, Justin? I'm excited to be back for another episode of the Nerdy Reads podcast. And first, I need to pull his eyes away from Hugh Jackman's abs. It's Dylan.
Hey, bro. Ain't nothing pulling me away from his abs. Anyway, we got a very, very special episode today because not only are we going to be talking about Wolverine and Deadpool, but on this special episode, I'm bringing my partner, my duo, my dude that I go to battle with every other week. Not every week, every other week on another show called the Optic Blast Broadcast. It's my boy, Blake Lockman.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Old man Lockman in the house. Hey, guys, thanks for so much for having me on here tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun talking Deadpool, talking Wolverine, talking comics with my bros, the Nerdy Reads podcast. It doesn't get much better than that.
Dude, what an epic crossover event we're having right now. We didn't even know Blake was going to be here until an hour ago. So.
I just showed up.
Thanks for joining us today. Hey, dude.
Yeah, man. I didn't drink some coffee.
I know, because you got to get up in 5 hours to go hit the gym.
Dude. I do. Yeah, that's right. So,
well, thanks for being on here, bro. Robert, why don't you hit us with the question today, dude?
Yeah, much like Blake, I'm going to get up early and hit the gym so I can chase the unattainable goal of looking like Hugh Jackman one day. But hey, I digress. Deadpool and Wolverine was a great movie. But that one notwithstanding, what is your favorite post-Endgame movie? I know the MCU had some bangers leading up to Endgame. But since Endgame, it's been kind of So you guys have a favorite post-Endgame?
Go ahead, Dylan. Say Madam Web.
Well, listen. Madam Web would be up there if it was part of the MCU, but unfortunately, it's technically not. So I'm going with second best with No Way Home. Strictly because of Toby.
Hold up. So number one is actually Madam Web?
No, I'm just trolling.
Dude, Blake almost quit Optic Blast Broadcast.
I was like, all right, bro. Well, this has been a lot of fun.
Well, it's been a while since we talked Madam Web on Nerdy Reads podcast. Blake, have you actually seen it though?
No.
No.
I don't. My time is limited. I don't have that much time in my life to waste on stuff like that. So
there you go. Dude, for me, this question's super simple, bro. It's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I knew it.
Dude, anytime there's a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, bro, those are my favorite Marvel movies. Amazing. And Volume 3 was awesome.
Yeah, dude, Volume 3 was great. It was definitely the thing that sucks about after Endgame, you spend a whole decade building up to a storyline, and so everything is just epic leading to it, and then it's kind of well, I don't know what to do. We're kind of rebuilding again, right?
Yeah.
I would have to go with that's a hard one, man. Either Spider-Man, the No Way Home. No, I'm going to go Deadpool Wolverine. I think I like Deadpool Wolverine more than Spider-Man. And I like Spider-Man, but I think Deadpool Wolverine's... No, Eternals. Eternals is the best. Just kidding. Total joke.
Dude,
Deadpool Wolverine. You just swallowing real hard what?
Yeah, we got it.
I was trying to get the ice down, bro.
But I'm looking at this list, and it's not like this list is really bad, because you do have, I think Thor: Love and Thunder was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And then you have you got Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. You got Shang-Chi's on here, bro.
Yeah, Shang-Chi's dope. My favorite should be Spider-Man No Way Home, but it's actually not, dude. I don't know why. I'll take the minority. I really, really loved WandaVision. So for that, I'm going Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
It's a good one too. I mean,
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I know, like the vibe is like, oh, since Endgame everything sucked, and I joke around and say that, but like in reality, there's some bangers in there.
Yeah,
you know, you got some good movies in there, man. So you know, is there some misses? Sure, but like Eternals, I think that was kind of a waste.
Ant-Man
was not good. Quantum Mania was
well, technically Far From Home's post-end game too, right? The Jake Gyllenhaal Mysterio that happened after Thanos. That's a
oh yeah, I guess it did, didn't it? I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I would have considered it probably up there if it was actually good.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
There we are.
We all know the real only reason that our boy Dylan cares about the Spider-Man movies because Tobey Maguire came back. That's
exactly.
That's his jam.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway. So, hey, good news for those of you who are comic fans listening to the show today. This is all about comics today. Bad news if you're not into comics, just bear with us. I'm sure that we'll make fun of Dylan and Blake, and we'll have some fun. We'll still have some we'll have some of our normal fun. But without further ado, it's time for Comic Corner.
Oh yeah. So guess what? I'm taking over Comic Corner this week. So get ready, lock in, because we're going to be talking about Deadpool unaliving the Marvel Universe. So this is actually a comic that me and my boy Blake have recently went over and reviewed on our podcast, the Optic Blast broadcast. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you go check it out. Basically, this whole book, I'm just going to kind of pull up like a little synopsis of the book and kind of read it for you guys. I think that's usually what Justin does during this segment. I don't really know. I'm just flying by the edge of my seat right now. So I'm pulling a Robert.
What's new right now, bro? What's new?
What do you mean, bro?
Man, he took shots at both of us right there, dude.
He really did.
Listen. This was actually a pretty good one. I found it pretty entertaining. I know my boy Blake had some opinions on the canonical aspects of it. But basically, so what happens here is this is kind of the synopsis of it. So it says, what if everything you thought was funny about Deadpool was actually just disturbing? What if he decided to unalive everyone and everything that makes up the Marvel Universe? What if he actually pulled it off? Would that be fun for you? The Merc with Mouth takes on a turn for the twisted in a weekly horror comic like no other, where he just goes on an absolute rampage, and the rest is history. So, Blake, do you have any thoughts that you would like to include?
Yeah, definitely check out the episode on Optic Blast broadcast of this if you want to see that. So if you like Deadpool and you think, oh yeah, he's like my favorite hero, maybe you just got introduced to Deadpool lately because this movie's so hype and you love Wolverine, so you checked it out. You're like, who is this guy? Like, this episode, definitely we go over the Deadpool unalives the Marvel Universe, and the writers had to be very creative and come up with ways that Deadpool could actually pull this off. It's interesting because it's a horror comic. That's the first horror comic that Dylan and I have ever done on the show, and we didn't even mean to. We didn't know it was a horror comic. We just honestly, we're just searching through Marvel Universe trying to find something cool. We're like, hey, I've heard a lot about this, so let's check it out. So head over to Optic Blast broadcast. Let's check it out together. Listen to the episode, and it's wild, man. It's literally like any hero you can think of, even villain in the Marvel Universe. Like, he takes out most of the key players, like, in really creative ways, because he's, his damage output as a superhero is not as high as everybody else's, but he can just heal. But yeah, definitely check that out.
Something that you guys do over there that I think is really cool. And I think I've said this to you, Blake, multiple times, but my favorite segment is the proton cannon.
Proton cannon! Yes.
And it's basically where those guys go and they go through a comic book and they say what's canon, what's not canon. Like, there's a short that you guys just released about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and how they learn ninjutsu, and that was like, I was like, man, that's super interesting, because we all seen different things, and if you are a fan of movies and comics or shows, sometimes we are like, well, I mean, we've seen this done 4 different ways. What's the actual canon of that? And these dudes always solve that they answer those questions for us. So yeah,
that's what we do. So like, imagine like the Deadpool Wolverine movie. There's like a sacred timeline, right? That's what's canon in the Marvel universe. So it's our job as Optic Blast Broadcast to help navigate you through the sacred timeline of comic books and say, what is the real origin of all these characters, or what are the real powers other than what you've seen on TV or maybe in some other comic book series. So we love that. That's a really fun stuff to get into.
Yeah, 100%. All right, man. Well, appreciate that, guys. Go check them out at the Optic Blast Broadcast. They've released almost 3 episodes this past week. So there's a lot.
We're rocking.
Dude, you guys really are. There's lots of comic book material. And so go check those dudes out. Give us just a few minutes. We'll be right back. We are coming back with New Stuff Cafe. We're going to talk Deadpool and Wolverine, the movie. We're going to eat some chimichangas. We're going to probably laugh and have a good time. So give us just a few minutes. We'll be right back. Here we are. We are back at the New Stuff Cafe. And so, Robert, before we get into talking about this Deadpool movie, I know you are ecstatic about today's New Stuff Cafe item. I know we're not doing our typical review, but in honor of Deadpool and Wolverine, what are we having today, bro?
I tried to find a DiGiorno pizza that was supposed to be a chimichanga pizza in honor of Deadpool, but it was nowhere to be found. The people of Southern Indiana bought them all. And because of you, Justin had the great idea that Deadpool likes chimichangas. Let's get frozen chimichangas. I've never had one of these. Full disclaimer. I've never in my life had a frozen chimichanga. Never had
I've had like a regular chimichanga, though.
Yeah, I've gotten them from a Mexican restaurant. Yeah, bro, 100%. Yeah, dude, if I go to a Mexican restaurant and see chimichanga, I'll buy that 100%. Okay. But go to the freezers. They had 2 options at my store, 58 cents and $1.28. So I sprung.
Look at that bad boy, bro.
Yeah, you went for the $1.28 right there.
Yeah, I sprung for the $1.28 brand Jose Ole chicken and cheese.
Those are the ones I got too.
11 grams of protein. I put it in the air fryer because I'm an adult, not the microwave. I'm going to take a 1 bite of this thing straight up and then 1 bite with Cholula skull.
So I bought the mine was $4. It was it was like the vegan version. It's just being right. Yeah. Bro, I microwaved this and then I threw it in the fryer, bro. Look at that. It's got a little golden crisp. Look at this thing, bro. This is a professionally made chimichanga right here.
It is. That might be worth the $4 right there, buddy.
Since we have our guest Blake on the show today, as we're trying our chimichanga, really this is more of we're just having them in honor of our boy Deadpool. I'm sure we'll have lots of comments as we progress through this. But Blake, why don't you kind of lead us in talking about this movie and give us some, kind of guide our conversation today as we talk about Deadpool Wolverine. And we want to preface this by saying that if you have not seen the movie, there's a good chance we're going to talk about spoilers because part of the fun of this movie is that there's tons of cameos, lots of cool, fun things, and we'll probably talk about a lot of that. So if you haven't seen it, fast forward and to the comic book section or whatever and come back to this at another time after you've watched the movie or whatever you want to do. But we're going to talk about the movie. So Blake, take it away, my man.
Yeah, so Deadpool Wolverine, we waited a long time for this movie to come out, and now it's finally out. I couldn't believe it when we got to see the trailer for it and actually saw Wolverine's shadow, and we were all so hyped on that. So yeah, Deadpool, it's to me, it's just like the other Deadpool movies. I mean, if it's on brand, exactly what you're going to expect to get from a Deadpool movie. You're going to have crazy amounts of humor and super crude jokes. You're going to have extreme gore and violence. And you're going to have tons of awesome action. You're going to have tons of cameos from comic book accurate superheroes. And this is it. And Ryan Reynolds, man. I mean, Ryan Reynolds literally, I'm pretty sure he is Deadpool. Like, that's him, man. There's just like Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. There is no other person to be Deadpool. What's up, Dylan?
I agree with that.
I was gonna say something after you said that, but I'm gonna wait till
you're gonna wait till later. All right, you're gonna hold back for that. Just like Tom Holland is Spider-Man. There's really there's really no one else who could.
I agree.
Character.
Perfect.
100%.
All right, I'm just playing. I'm a Toby. We know this. All right. So anyway, but yeah, it's Deadpool. He's running through. he's trying to get with Wolverine so that he can basically save his universe from being destroyed. That he needs an anchor being. His Wolverine died in the movie Logan, and his universe is at risk. They want Deadpool to come to the MCU. They want him to come to the Sacred Timeline. So he's got a kind of like moral conflict there. Does he jump over and finally join the Avengers that he wants to join so bad, or does he try to save his universe? And he says, "I'll do both." So yeah, dude, Deadpool. I had a lot of fun with the movie. I want to go see it again. Did that tell you anything about it? It's the most fun I've had with the post-Endgame Marvel movie. I think. I mean, I like a lot of stuff, but that's my favorite one.
This one even kicks off with, like you were saying, just like action, just gruesome action.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, this movie,
one of the best scenes.
Dude, the first 5 minutes of this movie, I was like, bro, what is going on, dude? And he's just absolutely slaying dudes with a corpse.
Yeah.
Like, I was
like, well, what's so awesome is that like I was in a crowded theater because I went opening night. So like I got to hear like everybody's reaction. That theater, he gets like Wolverine skeleton out, and then he like the music hits and he starts doing the NSYNC bye 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 dance, like as he's like slaying all those TVA agents. And the theater was just like, dude, everyone was laughing so hard. It was like, I don't know, it was awesome. The comedy's through the roof, man, for sure.
I don't know if you saw this. I saw this today that Bye 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 is in the top 20, like number 10 on Spotify. Yeah, it's resurged because of the Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
But you got to think, dude, a whole generation of younger people are now being introduced to NSYNC. So I guess boy bands are coming back.
Well, it's just like Master of Puppets when Master of Puppets came out on, dude, and it became like the biggest song in the world for a minute.
Yeah. And that honestly revitalized Metallica because they did a new album that was a straight metal album, which is like, that's kind of crazy to think that like inspired a TV show of their old song from the 80s inspired them to make a new album. That's crazy, It's like the ghost of the past coming to inspire you.
Well, and then they have, they even have their own characters on Fortnite now.
No way.
Really?
You can be the whole Metallica band, bro. Wait, there's 4 of us. We could be Metallica. We can just
go. I'll call James Hetfield.
Oh, no. Okay, I got Kirk Hammett. Anyone but Lars. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. I'll be the guy who hated Napster. That's fine.
I just want to talk like this. Hey, so Deadpool, Wolverine.
We're typically a family-friendly show, and I know we're covering Deadpool and Wolverine this week. So if you go into Deadpool movies like I do for like crude jokes and over-the-top gratuitous violence, you are going to be pleasantly surprised at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's definitely rated R. Yeah, it's definitely rated R for a reason. So I did see some like little kids in the theater, and I was like, bro, I wonder if their parents just saw Wolverine on the flyer. And they were like, oh, cool, Wolverine. The little kids just
We have a toasty in every episode, so I think I'll just go ahead and take it. I mean, do you want to be the dad and your 10-year-old looks over at you during the movie? He's like, Dad, what's toasty? Do you want to answer that question?
Hey, since we toasted that, I'm just gonna say Maggie asked me what that was. My poor innocent wife.
Poor innocent wife.
My poor innocent wife.
Not my wife, dude. She's rolling and laughing along with all of it. Can you believe you just said that?
Nothing's on fire.
It's on fire, bro.
I turned it off. Everything's fine.
Justin's burning the house down with chimney.
That's pretty Deadpool of you.
Yeah, it was so Deadpool of me. That's true. So this movie had tons of cameos, lots of good cameos. And I don't know about you guys, but when I went into this movie, I went in with zero knowledge of that stuff. I didn't read a whole lot on this. I didn't watch the trailers in depth. I didn't do any of that because I knew there was going to be a lot of that, and I wanted to be 100% surprised.
Yeah, that's the best way to go into that movie, dude. And it's like, if you're on social media now, you've already gotten spoilers because I've seen so many spoilers now. So it's like you really only had one shot to do this. It was to go in blind, and I'm glad I did.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because when I saw my boy Blade,
yeah,
bro, Dude.
That's nice.
Well, then, dude,
Yeah.
like if we're gonna go through a whole list of the cameos, or if we're gonna do that, or if everybody just wants to shout out their favorite cameo in the movie.
Hit it, bro.
Dude, if yours was Blade, I'll go ahead and take Chris Evans. Expect him to be Captain America.
Oh, that was good.
I knew from the second he was on the screen. I was like, "That's Johnny. That's not
Yeah.
Cap."
That was cool. Definitely cool.
Well, I loved how he goes, he's going to say it. He's going to say it. He's going to say it.
Flame on.
Flame on.
Well, yep.
That one was good. And Channing Tatum's terrible accent as Gambit was great.
Oh,
also.
bro.
I just
Dude, what a hater.
Come on, bro.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was
You
fun.
Dude,
can't understand
Channing Tatum
Gambit
has,
for
like,
real.
so
That's
many-
what was great about it. I wasn't hating on the man. It was
He was comic book
I was gonna
accurate.
say he put in the work for that accent. Like he studied for like years, like to perfect his accent the way that he did it. Like he actually put
he
in
did
work
it
to
so
play
well
Gambit.
that he was actually proton cannon comic book accurate. I love it. I love that Deadpool just looked at him and was like, what did you just say? Like,
We're missing important exposition. Whatever, that's so fun.
Blake, you
I
shared
do-
something with me about that Gambit thing.
Yeah.
Dude, tell that story about.
yeah. So Channing Tatum, like, he was gonna be in a Gambit solo movie, and it got canceled. But he spent all this time preparing for it. He's like studied dialect of like Louisiana, and he has like family from there. That was like his favorite superhero because of where he's from and his family growing up. Like, he's a huge Gambit nerd, and he was so stoked to play Gambit. And then I guess with all the like legal stuff that was happening with the studios, they canned the movie. And so he thought like, dang, I did all that preparation and all that time to prepare for my favorite hero, and then I'm never going to get a chance to do it. And then Ryan Reynolds brings him in as Gambit. And that's why Deadpool says that little line of like, something's never started though, right? Or something, like that's why he threw that in there at him. But I thought Channing Tatum Gambit was awesome because I thought it was going to just die immediately like they did my boy Shatterstar. They should never have done that to him in Deadpool 2 because I really like him in the comics, but they did him dirty. So I thought Gambit was going to get the business. As soon as they started fighting, I thought this was going to be instant kill. But dude, Gambit came correct, and he was just blowing people up all over the place. I've never seen Gambit do stuff like that. It was crazy.
who that Deadpool 2 scene where like was he part of the X
Shatterstar? Yeah, he was part of
died in like
X-Force.
5 minutes when they jumped
Yeah, they
out of the plane.
Yeah, Shatterstar's mutant power is that he knows every hand-to-hand combat there is, and he can see someone fighting and instantly know like their fighting style. He's like
dope.
yeah, it's a cool power, and he doesn't have super strength or anything. He's just a tough fighter, and he got killed immediately. He's back though. In Deadpool 3, he's like the Asian dude that's like with him at the birthday party with like the ponytail. That's Shatterstar. So they brought him back. But
Nice. I do have a question about the movie. So when they're having the party in the beginning, and there's Deadpool, all his friends, and then there's the girl. Where I guess I missed it. She didn't come back in Deadpool 2, right?
at the end, right? Like, I guess it alludes to make you think that. Remember how he got Cable's time machine,
Right.
and he started going back in time and correcting everything. So he
Right.
brought Peter back. He brought X-Force back. So I guess he brought her back as all I
Okay.
can assume.
Yeah, because I don't know if I remembered seeing. Because when I saw her, I was like, "Hold up a second. And then they're not
She's
together. Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
guessing
Now-
she's somebody from another. Yeah, okay, I got you.
Well, them not being together was real weird to me. I was
Yeah.
like, hold on, what? And then you find out it's because he tried to get in the Avengers and they didn't let him, and so he got so depressed that like he just couldn't even be in a relationship anymore, and that he screwed everything up.
What a great scene that was with Happy Hogan too, man.
That was so good.
Somebody told me there's like 30 plus Easter eggs in that scene.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody told. I don't know. I haven't verified that, but I forgot who. Maybe my brother. Somebody was like, "Hey, did you know there's like 30 plus Easter eggs in that scene?" I was like, "Dude, I need to go find whatever YouTube video you watched. That sounds cool."
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. That scene was funny because he's like talking about his powers. He goes, "Us? Wait, I'm sorry. I was unaware that you were an Avenger." He goes,
Yeah.
I'm Avenger adjacent.
Yeah, Avenger adjacent.
I was like, that's hilarious.
He was just trying to talk to Tony Stark. He wasn't trying to hear Happy Hogan.
It's good to see Pete from Friends is doing well, man. He's come up.
Oh, dude, so true.
Bro, that's a deep cut right there.
That was such a deep cut. And I love it. That was
Dylan
good.
doesn't even know what you're talking about, dude.
Nah, he's just seen his chimichangas living life over there, man.
Hey, my chimichanga was legit. I mean, I almost burnt the house down, as we all heard in real time live. But
all right, so there's a lot of great fight scenes in this movie. Favorite fight scene?
it's a good question. I would say for me, I thought the van fight scene was pretty epic. It was pretty epic. Yeah.
Definitely.
That's because Wolverine's ready to kill him. It's like legit right there. Like, we're not bros anymore. We were never bros. It's over. It's on site with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make your dad in the Odyssey.
Yeah, Wolverine going off on him. Like, Wolverine finally had enough and just like ripped into Deadpool, and he cut him so deep with those disses that I felt bad for Deadpool. I was like, dang, bro. And then I love how his like response is like, I'm going to hurt you now. Or so I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight you now. And they just start going at it all night fighting. And then like when the camera pans back, Deadpool's like tied up in the seatbelts and Wolverine's sleeping. So good, man.
Well, and that scene shows their regenerative powers at work too. Because I mean, they're just stabbing each other and shooting each other, and no one's like, I mean, I'm sure all of it hurts, but no one's like down for the count. I mean, they just keep on rolling. Yeah, it's crazy.
They just keep healing, man.
Dylan, what's your favorite fight scene, man? I waited specifically for you to take that bite to ask you this question.
I mean, I was gonna say the van, but I mean, besides the van, I mean the opening scene, the NSYNC bye bye scene is just it's epic. It's literally been all over my Facebook reels, Instagram, For You page, TikTok, all of it.
I did like the scene where he was like using Nice Pool as a body shield against all the
Oh my gosh, dude.
So funny.
When he goes, how long does it take you to regenerate? He's like, regenerate.
Say this with me. I'm going to live. Oh my gosh. I like one quick thing I want to say about the fight scenes is there was a part where Deadpool and Wolverine are fighting. Wolverine takes off running at him on all fours. And as a comic book fan, like that's grown up with Wolverine, I like I just was like, yes, in the movie theater. And like people were probably like, what? That's so cool that Wolverine does stuff like that. And like I've never seen them portray him like that before. So it was cool to like Ryan Reynolds and whoever's in this like studio. I mean, the Deadpool movies, I'll say this, they do stuff so comic book accurate. They put a lot of love into it. Like that's the best Colossus that there is. That's
no doubt.
That's the best Juggernaut we've ever seen. Not this one, but the one in Deadpool 2. They did like comic book accurate Juggernaut, you know. They do that stuff so well. And it's just because you could tell, like Ryan Reynolds has been very vocal about how much he's a huge X-Men fan and, you know, Deadpool fan, of course. But it's just cool to see them. Little touches like that mean a lot. What about all the different Wolverines?
Yeah, I thought that was really, really cool too.
They did some deep cut stuff in there that I never expected. And what about our boy Superman showing up? Henry Cavill or whatever. You don't remember
where'd he show up? I don't remember.
I didn't see Henry Cavill.
I must have missed
Wolverine.
this.
He was the Wolverine working on the motorcycle.
I missed it.
Super Jack Wolverine. That's what
okay.
That was like, oh, we'll treat you way better than. Don't listen
Those
to him.
guys down
He'd be
the
a great Wolverine. Yes, we'll treat you way better than those guys down the road. Yeah, that was Henry Cavill.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That makes all that even better.
Yeah, it makes me want to go watch it again just to see the stuff I missed. That's awesome.
Yeah. For the stuff I missed, the Easter eggs, I want to see it again, and that's a huge praise because I don't really get out to see movies a whole lot, and I want to see it again in theaters for all the cameo Easter eggs I missed and for all the jokes I missed because I start laughing at the joke he delivers, and he said 2 or 3 more jokes, and I can't hear them because I'm too busy laughing at joke 1. So like, I want to and I also want subtitles. I don't know how much you got to pay the dude at the movie theater to turn subtitles on, but I need that.
I respect it, dude. I've been to the movie theaters quite a bit this year, and I can promise you it's never looked the way it looked when I was there for Deadpool on Saturday.
Yeah, me either, man.
It was packed out. 25-minute wait to get a soda. Yeah.
That's wild.
That's the way it should be.
The MCU still has that effect, man. People still show up for something. Yeah.
I mean, if you put the right thing out there, that's for sure. And obviously Deadpool brings people.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming we're getting close to wrapping up. Like this movie, does it? I kind of thought, were they trying to reset the multiverse stuff in the MCU, or was it just like, nah, this is just our own thing? Because I kind of felt like they were just going to erase all these kabillion timelines and get back to the sacred timeline and move on.
They definitely drop hints, right? Like Deadpool says, like, hey, can we be honest, guys? Like the whole multiverse thing's been kind of like a big miss or whatever he says, you know, like they have several jokes in there about that. And it makes me think that like if what's his name? Dylan Feige.
Kevin Feige.
Yeah, Kevin Feige. If he approves those jokes, then maybe they're kind of going to go down that path. I know they got in some trouble with the boy that was going to be Kang the Conqueror. So like, I don't know what's happening with that. All of a sudden they start talking about a new Avengers movie, Doomsday, and another one. It's like all of a sudden it's like I think they're shifting gears pretty quick, man. I mean, they're reshuffling their deck. I think they figured out we're gonna have to remove. I don't know what they're gonna do with all the multiverse stuff. It's the Secret Wars is still out there, so we'll see.
The last thing I'll say is I loved all the digs and jabs at Disney too.
Oh my god, so good.
And Fox and all that stuff was just so funny.
And Hugh Jackman gonna have to do this till he's 90.
Oh, that was good too.
Yeah.
What a good line, dude. That was
you're 90.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's safe to say that this movie has the Optic Blast and Nerdy Reads podcast stamp of approval. Absolutely. If you're into this kind of thing, it's hilarious. It's great. And if you're not tired of hearing about Deadpool already, well, you might be here in just a few minutes because we're going to be right back as we're going to talk about this week's reading, Deadpool versus Wolverine, The Deep End, in just a moment.
Chongo way. Gross. All right, let's hit it.
I really didn't think they were that bad, personally. I think the beef was a lot better than the chicken, though.
I didn't know they made frozen chimichangas.
Man, the chicken tasted like canned soup chicken.
Mine was excellent. I ain't gonna lie. So
because you paid $4 for it, dude.
Yeah, man, mine was $1.28.
Bro, you got that high quality chimichanga.
I got the high quality chimichanga. All right, here we go. All right. So while our boys over at the Optic Blast broadcast covered Deadpool Unalives the Marvel Universe, we decided to do our part and cover a 5-issue series called Deadpool versus Wolverine, The Deep End. We have a special treat for you today, but for the very first time in Nerdy Reads podcast history, we are kicking off our book discussion and asking our very own sweet baby Dylan to lead us all the way. Dylan, take it away, my man.
Listen.
This is historic.
This is historic.
He's a born unaliver, highly trained in the art of beat 'em up. He's a man at a time, living without fear of death. He's the best there is at what he does. And he's about to do it to the Wolverine. Enter the merc with the mouth, Deadpool.
There it is.
There it is. That's awesome.
So, as Justin said, we are reading the comic today, Deadpool versus Wolverine, The Deep End. This is a 5-issue series that goes all the way into just basically this little comic where it's Deadpool and Wolverine essentially just going at each other for a few issues. And this, I want to say this came out this year. Yeah, it did.
It did.
It did indeed. And basically, like I said, they're just kind of going at it. And I feel like the first 3 issues is literally them just hammering at each other. There's not much of a plot. I mean, it was cool to me. I really enjoyed that. I'm kind of interested to hear your guys' thoughts on how that, at least the first 3 issues were, because there wasn't really much to discuss other than, I mean, they were just.
Robert, what did you say again? What'd you say off air about this, about the action? What'd you say again? You said something clever, catchy, even.
Oh, I said it was all killer, no filler, baby. We were just throwing hands right off the rip.
Dude,
that's it.
That's
issues 1 through 3. It's just hands.
The whole time.
The entire time. There's very little to no dialogue. And I've never read a Deadpool comic before.
Yeah,
So-
me either.
My only interaction with this character has been Ryan Reynolds' portrayal in like an Xbox video game. I think it was Xbox 360. So like
That game was sick though. That was
It
a good
was.
game.
But so my first interaction is, okay, Deadpool's going at Wolverine. Wolverine's in some fancy restaurant. Why is there a bomb up this cooked duck's butt? And then it blew up. And I was like, oh, yeah, here we go. Let's do it.
Yeah. It reminded me a lot of the van scene from the movie because these dudes just keep stabbing each other with
Yeah.
various objects and shooting each other. And it's just an absolute bloodbath the entire time, but nobody quits.
No, they
Right.
there was a cool part in the first issue where Wolverine's on top of a truck and it's like almost Nightmare on Elm Street. Like Deadpool's driving and Wolverine's claws come down right in front of his
Yeah,
face. Made me think of Freddy Krueger. I loved it.
yeah.
They even made a Freddy Krueger reference in this comic, if I remember
They did.
correctly.
Yeah, they did. They were making fun of Ryan Reynolds at a restaurant, or not Ryan. That's just how good he is as Deadpool.
he is Deadpool. I don't
He
expect Wade
did.
Wilson.
He 100% is Deadpool. Yeah.
They're like, Freddy Krueger went out the back when Wolverine's looking for him.
Yeah. Freddy
I would
Krueger.
say, for these first 3 issues, even before we get into the back 2 or whatever, all the things that I would expect from a Deadpool comic, I feel like were there. Like he does the little jokes. He
Mhm.
says all the things. Nothing seems to be taken seriously at all. He is a little more heinous, I feel like, in this comic than he is in the movies. Because, when we were watching that movie, you see him in there wanting to be an Avenger, wanting to be all the things. And these first 3 issues, I'm like, this dude's just trying to kill Wolverine for funsies.
Right.
Yeah, he's bored.
I don't remember, what was his motive? Like, why did
Oh,
he
it-
hate Wolverine?
That
was
ends up kind
actually-
of becoming known in the 4th issue, I want to say.
Go ahead and hit it,
It's
bro.
it's the 5th issue. It's like the end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember it being right at the end. I feel like it may have been the end of the 4th, but it could have been the 5th. Basically, you kind of see this other character with a haircut from the 80s, I believe, is what Deadpool said. He had a nice little mullet looking thing.
Mhm.
And so it's this dude, and I instantly, because I recently watched Logan not that long ago, and I saw, is it X-23, and the way her claws came out. This dude's claws came out the exact same way. It was just 2 instead of 3, like
okay.
Wolverine's does.
Yeah.
So that
Very
picked in my mind. I was like, oh, this is probably some variant of X-23 or something like that, which we ended up finding out later that is actually Wolverine's child. And for some reason, I don't think it really goes into much detail as to why, but he hates him and wants Wolverine dead. And so he literally hires Deadpool to kill him, which I thought was that was way out of left field, in my opinion. I wasn't expecting that at all. I didn't know what was going on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wolverine hired Deadpool to kill him because he knew that Dakin would be
that's
the only person to
yeah,
kill
that's fine,
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was a very interesting twist.
Yeah.
Can I ask a Proton Cannon question on this here episode of Nerdy Reese podcast?
I will do my best.
So, is Dakin the son of Wolverine and Emma Frost?
Dude,
Who's his mom? Who's the baby
I'm-
mama?
So Dakin is one of those characters that I don't like. He's kind of like Robin, the new Robin in Batman, Damian or whatever. But I like Damian a little more than him. But Dakin is I don't know a whole lot about him. I'm not sure who his mother is. I'm not sure if he's a clone or if he's I think he's legit his son though. I don't think he's a clone. I come to think of it, I don't know, man. I'll have to.
All
Do
right.
failed.
I found it. I can answer this question.
All right, go for it.
It's Sue.
Huh?
Who?
Sue. Some person named Sue.
It's Sue. ITSU, the
It's
deceased
Sue.
wife.
It's Sue. I thought you said it's
Sue.
Sue. Who's Sue?
It's Sue
It's
Storm.
Sue. It's Sue. There you go. She's the
All right.
Japanese wife of Wolverine, is what it says. Deceased wife
Sounds
of
about
Wolverine.
right.
There you go.
There we go.
We
So
learned
that,
something new today.
that was really the entire story of the whole thing. There's very little dialogue in the first 3 issues at all. And episode 4, it's kind of like Deadpool's really talking to himself, and he's having an inner monologue with one part of his brain and the other part of his brain. And again, that humor shine where he's in his head, this is how he thinks something's going to go. It's the expectation versus reality happening in the comic book, which I loved.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. Did they do that in the other one that you guys covered this week? So, like, Deadpool would be in the middle of a fight and he would make a comment about something, and you would see how Wolverine really looked in real time. So, like, he'll be standing there looking like Wolverine, but then in Deadpool's mind, Wolverine looks like he's like off the Looney Tunes.
Yeah, he looks like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, I don't think it did that in the other comic that we read. That one was a little more. It was probably because of the style the comic was. It was more of a horror comic style, so it probably didn't do. It was a little more on the disturbing side rather than having fun and doing Deadpool things. So,
dude, there was something jacked up in this during the fight with Wolverine. Deadpool like hired some lady to act like she's freaking out as her car's on fire.
Dude, that was dark.
Dude, there was a baby in the back seat, and I'm like, what is that? And Wolverine's trying to get to her, and Deadpool like stops her or whatever. He lets him go, and the car just engulfs in flames. I'm like, this baby died. And then the baby's face is melting, but it's a bomb. And Deadpool just like pricked Wolverine again. I'm like, dude,
that's some dark stuff right there, dude.
Man.
Deadpool's a crazy character, bro. He is absolutely crazy in this. It was unhinged, if you will. Well, let me ask you guys a question. So this could be for all of us. So I'm assuming, I don't know about you, Dylan, Blake, and Robert. I know that this is y'all's first kind of experience with reading Deadpool comics. We've all watched the movies. What are your impressions of this? Do you think that you would read more Deadpool comics? Or are you just satisfied with the movies? Robert?
I'm satisfied with the movies. If you guys came to me and was like, hey, we're going to do a crossover OBB, it's Deadpool, I'd be like, cool, I'm going to do this. Would I go seek out Deadpool on my own? Probably not. But I did enjoy reading these issues. So if I needed to do it for the show or to guest on someone's show, I'd have no problem picking it up.
Sure. Blake?
All right, so Deadpool for me is not a comic book character I care to read. I just don't like him. I like him in the movies; he's great. But what I will say about Deadpool solo, I don't. Let me rephrase that. I don't like Deadpool solo. Deadpool's great for a team. One of my favorite X-Force runs, the team is like Wolverine, Psylocke, X-23, Deadpool, and Archangel. And they are it's an awesome lineup and an awesome team. And Deadpool is great on that team. I love him in team battles. I just can't get with him, man. He's one of those characters that needs a balance. He's so outlandish and so crazy that you need a solid balance. And even the movies demonstrate this. Colossus and Megasonic Teenage Warhead are his balance in the first movie. Cable and Domino are his balance in the second movie. Wolverine is his balance. You can't just have a Deadpool story because it's just too crazy. You need somebody to kind of balance him. But I will recommend the most Deadpool I've ever read is the Cable and Deadpool run. They have like their own comic. Super serious time traveler, future soldier Cable with crazy zany Merc with a mouth Deadpool is an awesome combo. So I do like his comics if he's with somebody or on a team, but by himself, I'm not reading Deadpool. I just not for me.
Yeah, I feel that way as well. Dylan, thoughts?
I mean, yeah, Blake pretty much said it all. I very much enjoy Deadpool in the movies. When it comes to the comics, these are the two comics that we've read are really the most exposure I've had to him comic book wise. And while I enjoyed it, it was more just like I'm gonna pick it up and just to read it kind of thing. It wasn't like there wasn't like super in-depth storytelling, I feel like, as you know, some of the other characters that have some more depth, I feel like, to their characters. Deadpool just doesn't have that, so I don't really know if I would want to read too much. I mean, I'd be open to it, but I wouldn't like seek him out, like Robert said. So,
can I tell you guys my favorite Deadpool moment in a comic book?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, bro. So in the X-Force run, the X-Force they basically decide that they're going to kill Apocalypse before he ever becomes Apocalypse. So they're going to kill like Kid Apocalypse, right? And X-Force, if you don't know, in the comics is like basically the X-Men doing the dirty missions that Cyclops can't put the X-Men on because the public will get like, it's like they're like the covert secret ops. They do like assassin missions and stuff. And Cyclops actually calls all this stuff, but Wolverine's the leader of the team at this point. They decide they're going to kill Kid Apocalypse. He's a kid. but he's Apocalypse, and they're gonna kill him. And Deadpool is the moral compass. Like they go to do it, and Deadpool's the one that's like, hold on, guys, like I'm not with this. And they're all so shocked. Like Wolverine's like, you're not with this? Like all of us? And it's like Deadpool's basically like, yeah, like how screwed up are you guys that I'm the one that's like talking you down off this let's kill a kid thing. And like he actually turns the team around with like so that's my favorite Deadpool moment. Like he actually shined as like Wade for a second, and it wasn't just like chimichangas and shoot stuff. It was like actually for a minute the character in him came out, and it was like, hey man, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
That reminds me of
go ahead.
the one time in the, I don't know, I want to say it might have been Deadpool 2, because he went back in time to where baby Hitler was.
Oh yeah.
He couldn't even do it then
right.
for that situation. So I mean, it makes sense that he wouldn't even take out Apocalypse as a child. So
yeah.
For all the goofy in these 5 issues and just the absolute madness and mayhem, there was that little brief moment where we saw something similar to what we saw in the movie. Is when he's talking to Wolverine, and he's basically expressing like, hey, you've been accepted on a team. I've never had an opportunity to be accepted on a team. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like even in this, he is, I think that's a consistent theme here with Deadpool is that I think Deadpool just is a dude who wants to belong somewhere and wants to be, and even in the movie, like wants to be important or whatever it is that they were saying. But even in this, you see that like, hey, Deadpool's goofy, and yes, he's just all about carnage, but also like there's more to him than what we got to see, I think, in these 5 issues. But I mean, this was a fun comic. Overall, it was a fun fight. It was super quick to read.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I knocked this out like in a lunch break almost. But I have like 2 closing thoughts. One, Wolverine let a waitress punch him in the face, and she broke her hand.
What a god! What a god!
And number 2, the whole time I'm like, why is this called the deep end? Because he's trying to drown Wolverine in the deep end of the pool at the end of the comic. That's where he's gonna trap him.
That was funny.
Yeah, good stuff, man.
That was good. All right. So Dylan, got any closing thoughts on this one before we hit our last 3 words?
I mean, overall, I feel like the first 3 issues were entertaining. They were fun. It was cool. I feel like the story itself doesn't really pick up until 4th and 5th issue, and then it gets really interesting. So, I mean, definitely read it for sure. It's worth reading. I feel like I don't want to say the first 3 issues are slow necessarily, but there just isn't much that happens. Yeah. It's just them wrecking house. So yeah, overall solid.
And I know that you guys harp about this on the Optic Blast broadcast, but we'll say it here too. Marvel Unlimited, what a great value.
Do it.
We read all this on Marvel Unlimited. Blake, you said something that I took a little beef with in your episode last week when you said that you like the scroll up.
I like that, bro.
Nah, bro.
I love it.
I don't like that. I didn't like that one bit. And the fact I couldn't change it upset me. Because I also I like to see all the frames at once. Yeah. Because then it helps me capture the action.
I think if you could pick, that would be better. I don't know if is this like a Deadpool exclusive thing? Because
I don't know.
This comic's like that. The Unalive.
I wonder if it's the deep end comics, because there's multiple deep end comics or Infinity. Sorry, not the deep end. Infinity comics
like this. Is that like tablets?
Dude, when we first opened this, I spent more time trying to figure out how to fix that than I did reading the comic.
It took to read it, right? So, I'll say this. I'm going to throw a little bit of shade. The artwork, whack.
Ooh. Whoa.
Didn't appreciate it. But then again, I feel like, but then again, it's a goofy comic. So if I'm their artist and they pay me to draw it, I'm like, oh, it's Deadpool and Wolverine fighting. Okay, man.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like the heart was in it, bro.
I think what I'm starting to learn a little bit, and this is taking a veering off of Deadpool and going more towards Wolverine. These last couple things, like reading this comic, watching the movie, has made me even more of a Wolverine fan than I was before. it's not that I slept on Wolverine or thought Wolverine wasn't cool before. I think we've always known Wolverine to be,
Awesome.
there you go. Wolverine to be an awesome character. I think it's just because of his popularity. I've always been like, okay, I always root for the underdogs.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
This is my Blake Lively figure.
Hey, man.
There you go.
It's a Blake Lively
There you
action
go.
figure. You can see the Blake Lively action figure on the last episode of Optic Blast Broadcast. If you check out the live video, Blake Lively in there. But yeah,
All right,
I agree
boys.
with you, Justin. I think it really made Wolverine shine a little bit more for me.
I agree. All right, let's end this. Last 3 words. So this is the last 3 words to end this comic book. Let's end the Deadpool discussion. Guys, what do you got? I'll start. Prefer the movies. Robert, are you sleeping over there, bro? You all right?
Turning the hat around. He's getting ready.
Oh, no.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Wow. That was, Keaton. Okay, that was a
Oh.
Keaton throwback.
Yeah.
It was a Kiwi throwback. I get you. Respect. Dylan?
Chimichangas, maximum effort.
Nice.
All
Blake,
I
you got something for us, bro?
Top it all. Optic Blast Broadcast.
Yes. That's who we're sponsored by today, everyone. The Optic Blast Broadcast. Check them out over there on YouTube. Like, subscribe, all the things.
That's right. Hey, Blake's going to stick around because we're not done quite yet. We still have some nerdy news, and I'm assuming because it's Dylan, we'll have some Marvel things that we're about to discuss. So give us just a few minutes. We'll be right back.
So every time you tune into the Nerdy Reads podcast, you can expect some of the latest and greatest news from across the nerdverse. And every week we like to kick it off with a sighting of the week. It's 1793, and the captain of the Felicity is steering his sailboat through the shallows of Lake Erie's islands, duck hunting and admiring the rugged natural beauty of the area. His loud shots ring out, echoing over the still water. Suddenly, the captain sees something that makes his blood run cold. According to the captain, an enormous serpent had started thrashing around near his boat, having been startled by the gunshots. He reported that the creature was huge, easily over 5 meters long, though it disappeared before he could get a better look at it. And this serpent is called Bessie.
Bessie.
That's right. It is not Nessie. It is Bessie.
Bessie the
is-
serpent.
Yes, Bessie is a serpent that explores the shallow waters of some of the Great Lakes, this Great Lake being Lake Erie. And basically, it is a knockoff Loch Ness monster that I'm going to send to you guys here. And you guys can kind of see some of the pictures and kind of what Bessie, not Nessie, looks like here. Give me 1 second. I'll send it over to you guys. I probably should have done this earlier.
I got y'all. Look at
there
this.
it
Here's
is.
a picture of
There we
Bessie.
got it.
I didn't
Bessie,
know
the
this
Loch Ness monster of Lake Erie.
I didn't know this existed. Now I'm going to go to Lake Erie.
Hey, bro, that's a lot closer than going to Scotland and trying to see Nessie.
Not
So-
as cool.
Yeah. Bro,
I mean,
that's it, bro. I'm changing my name. Old Man Loch Ness. I'm in.
dude, yes.
We're all going hunting.
Old man
We gotta
Loch
find this thing, dude. We gotta be, Nerdy Reads, Optic Blast Broadcast. We team up, we fuse, we hunt Bessie.
Ness. Yeah, we take cameras that film in 420p,
That's right.
and we will find Bessie.
We are gonna find Bessie in
Okay.
that water. It's gonna be
It's
the
not a
next
log; it's Bessie. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
we got this. All right, you heard it here first. We're chasing
You and
after
Justin
Bessie.
fuse. If you and Justin perform the fusion, you're going to look like Logan's skeleton at the beginning of Deadpool 3.
What?
He's saying we're old, bro.
Wow.
I thought you were gonna
I
say
love
you
that,
look like
Robert.
Logan's son.
It's even better. You would.
Robert always throws shade. He's only like 2 years behind us.
Yeah, bro. He acts like he's young.
I mean, all right, next.
All right. Well, our first piece of news, Justin kind of already let the cat out of the bag a little bit here. We're going to be talking about Marvel. Surprise, surprise. Because San Diego Comic-Con was recently.
San Diego.
And San Diego was
What's it
recently.
mean?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
It's a
Robert knows where I'm going.
Well, I know where I'm going though. Hall H, brother. So at San Diego Comic-Con, at Hall H is like the Marvel hall at San Diego Comic-Con every single year. I'm just going to keep saying San Diego Comic-Con. Hopefully you guys keep laughing. But anyway, this year was full of surprises. So if you've been keeping up with the MCU, you know that there's obviously been some flops with the multiverse stuff going on. And also there's some issues that kind of went on behind the scenes with the King character and Jonathan Majors playing that character. If you're interested in going, figuring stuff out whenever it comes to like that whole situation, go look it up. I don't really want to go into it on the show, trying to keep it a little more on the family friendly side. But go look it up. Go do your own research on that if you haven't already. But they pretty much Marvel has decided to do away with the whole King build-up and kind of go a different direction. And at the recent San Diego Comic-Con, they announced what direction they are going, and boy, was it an unexpected one. So, obviously, from a while now, we've had the Secret Wars movie planned. It was supposed to come out a few years from now. I want to say like 2027 or something like that. I can't remember the exact time, but that was something we already knew. But they completely did a whole 180 and changed up the next movie and announced the next two Avengers movies, Avengers 5 and 6. First off, they announced that it's going to be directed and written by the Russo Bros, which is a W in and of itself because – I mean, it's the Russo Bros. I don't know what else you can say because it's phenomenal. But they had given us a very interesting surprise, to say the least, with the Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday. They announced this new movie, and they basically very much implied that it's going to be all about Doctor Doom. And if you don't know who Doctor Doom is, he's a pretty big character in Marvel. But basically, they are making a movie. It's going to build up for him, and they announced who the actor is going to play, who will be playing Victor Von Doom, and that actor is
drum roll, bro. Drum roll.
Hulk Hogan,
the man himself. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be playing Doctor Doom in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday, and I'll be honest, I don't know how to feel about it.
I don't feel great.
I don't know how to feel.
You don't feel great, Robert?
But you know what, dude? I'll say this: I didn't feel great with Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine after how awesome Logan was, and it's like, man, that was like the perfect swan song for your character. I feel like it's a different character, or it's a variant of Tony Stark in some different timeline, whatever it's gonna be. I was just like, man, what? I love you 3000 means nothing now. He just back. But it is comic books. They always come back. Who am I to speak?
That's true, bro. No one's ever really dead.
No.
It's just like DBZ. They do the same thing, bro. They find a way.
Yeah, that's right. Facts. Finds a way. And then, so I heard that he's actually, so my thought was he's a Tony Stark variant that instead of becoming Iron Man became Doctor Doom, which totally makes sense to me. You could do an emotional play with the Avengers when they see him, and you can imagine that would be good storytelling. But I was told today that no, they came out and said no, he's not Tony Stark, he's Victor Von Doom. If that's true, I'm really confused. But I don't put anything past Robert Downey Jr., dude. He's a heck of an actor, and I don't think he would sign on unless they had a really good story to tell, because he was done with Marvel. Didn't he just win an Oscar? Or did he not? Yeah,
maybe. Did he?
I think so. I think he did. He's like, he can do whatever he wants. I don't think he would sign on to this project unless they had a really good story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
So he could do it. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm a little conflicted as well, boys.
I'm with you when you say like, hey, he's a good actor. I don't think he would do this unless there was something to be done for him and that he thought he could make something thrive here. And it's just like Deadpool. It's just like Iron Man. Like, he is Iron Man.
Yeah.
And so when he comes out as Doctor Doom, I think we'll all probably sit back and go, oh, he's Doctor Doom.
I get it now. Right. Like, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I have faith in Robert Downey Jr. as an actor and what he can bring to this. So there you go.
So what do we have, like 2 years before we see this? 2-3 years? Was there a
I want to say
date?
2026. Yeah.
And then Avengers
2022,
Secret
big
Wars is 27, so they're
Yeah.
stacking, dude. They're going old school.
Yep.
You're right about the Oscar win, dude. He
personally-
won for Oppenheimer, by the way.
I thought he did.
Oh,
He did.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
makes
what I'm
sense.
saying. Like once you win an Oscar, he's Robert Downey Jr. He could do whatever he wants anyway. But once you win an Oscar, Oscar's like here in the Hollywood movie stars. It's like Oscar. Marvel's like down here. Like that. That's like to them to like actors. Not to me. Oscars. I don't care. Marvel's way up here. But
Sure.
But to
Yeah.
filmmakers, that's the top prize. And so for him to win that and then be like, oh, cool, I'm going back to Marvel, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, agree.
I feel like for me, like just being kind of honest, I just feel like it's a bit of a desperation move. They kind of build up all the stuff with King. It ends up going south with Jonathan Majors. They need something big. And they need something that's going to draw attention back to the MCU. I mean, what else would you do other than bring Robert Downey Jr. back? I mean, he built the MCU in a cave. So I mean, he literally. I don't know. I just feel like it was something that they are just like, all right, we need to do something big, and this is what it is.
It's a pivot, right? They had to pivot.
Yeah. I feel like Doom is too big of a character to not be someone else, like to use Robert Downey Jr. to come in and play it. Like I think it needed to be its own separate character, rather than bringing in someone who already is one of the greatest protagonists in any movie ever, in my opinion. But
yeah, I hear you. And he could still be, right? Like we don't know. The real Doctor Doom of the 1616 universe might show up in this movie and be like, there is only one Doom, and like break him and throw him into the wind. We don't know what's going to happen, but I agree with
if
you.
this entire thing's smoke and mirrors and
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Doom for like 37 seconds.
Yeah.
Dude, chef's
that would be a
kiss.
very Marvel.
Yeah.
That'd be a very Marvel thing to do.
And
Well,
Doom,
and
and I
I think
agree.
too, like, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I agree. Doom is like top tier supervillain that we've never gotten a good version of, and I do agree. I'm with you. That's why I said I'm conflicted. It probably should be somebody else, but again, I think Robert's got a story to tell, Mr. Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have all the faith in the world in Robert Downey Jr. I think he can do a phenomenal job. I just don't know if it's the right move here, but I could
You don't
be
have
wrong.
faith in Disney. That's what's
I've
happening.
never
Yeah.
had faith in Disney.
Well,
It's
I
after-
can't argue that, you know.
After Acolyte, Dylan has still not recovered.
Bro, let me
I
just
never
say,
Never will.
Acolyte garbage, bro.
Whoa, two Acolyte haters.
Yeah.
My God.
You know the trash that sits in the bottom of the dumpster?
Yeah,
Yeah, Acolyte's in the bag of that.
yeah, exactly. I'm with you.
Dang.
He's like,
Wow.
they're like in the McDonald's bag that's in the bottom of the trash in the bottom of the dumpster. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? We need to do
Wow.
a Star Wars episode last broadcast where we do nothing but trash that show. I'm in. Let's go.
Wow.
You heard it here first on the Nerdy Reads podcast. Optic Blast, Star Wars Trash Talk episode. Coming soon.
There you go.
And with that being said, honestly, I think I'm just going to go ahead and wrap up nerdy news there. That just talking about Acolyte just depressed me. So
I'm sorry,
Next
bro. We
segment.
should have done it.
Wow. Robert, you know what time it is? Bring us back, bro. Bring us back.
Man, it's time for What's Hot. We here at the Nerdy Reads podcast can't read everything, so we bring you something from around the book world. And today, we covered a novel last year by Lisa Jewell called None of This Is True that I personally loved. And Lisa's breaking away from true crime to explore comic true crime. So Marvel is doing a novel series based on crime. And the first one stars Jessica Jones as a retired superhero and private investigator. She tried her hand at crime fighting, but that life led to like unspeakable trauma. So now she avoids the superhero world altogether and works on surviving day to day as a PI, trying to help people on a street level. So one day Jessica meets Amber and insists that her teenage twins had something strange happen to them while meeting their father over in the UK. The twins no longer act like themselves. They have flawless skin. They speak perfectly, no slang. And they keep talking about a girl they met named Belle. So Jessica Jones travels to the British countryside to meet Belle in this little village of Barton Wallop. I'm sure I butchered that. And however, the village seems to harbor not only like some mysteries with the locals, but there's this strange dark energy surrounding it. So Breaking the Dark, first book, all new Marvel crime series, introducing fans to the grittier street level side of the Marvel universe. The series will continue with the original novels featuring more fan favorite characters like Luke Cage and Daredevil. I thought it was cool we're covering Deadpool Wolverine, that Marvel's actually like, hey, we're going to give some like legit authors out there. Lisa Jewell's not like a small lady to write these books.
She's not a what?
Not a small lady. I mean, she's huge in the book world.
There you go. Thanks.
Oh, my bad, Lisa. Lisa, fan of the show.
Dude, wow. We know what you meant, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, listen. Jessica Jones is top tier, bro. Jessica Jones, I loved that show on Netflix. I liked her character. Really, really dug that. Man, this right here, I feel like this is we got to do this one.
Yeah, I would be down to do this one. If that None of This Is True book was amazing, so I would definitely give this a go.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, excited for that, man.
All right, dude. Well, coming up next on the Nerdy Reads podcast, Justin and I are going old school. We got one book for you next week. We're going to do a review of The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer. Many of you have talked about this in our Discord. We got it. We're reading it. It's a modern day Chronicles of Narnia. I'm looking forward to it. And the week after that, we will be jumping into our next book club, the start of our book club book, The Bright Sword by Lev Grossman. If you would like to read along with us, you will have a chance to win your very own copy. All you have to do is like, comment, and share this post of this episode to be entered for a chance to win. We will announce the winner soon.
We'll announce the winner. Hey, no, you're good. We'll announce the winner next episode. So this will be a really cool way for you to jump in. And really, we're going old school. We did this Deadpool this week, and we're going old school next week to give you guys time to get the book and get ready because we are starting that to read after next week's episode. So we're going to do The Lost Story. Looking forward to that. Really looking forward to this book club book. So like Robert said, if you like, comment, and share, each one of those give you an entry. So if you like it, that's one entry. You comment, that's 2. If you share it, we're going to give you an additional 3 entries. So you can get a total of 5 if you do all of it. If you choose just to do 1 or 2, that's fine too. So we just want to encourage you to do that to win a free copy of this book. And we'll announce it next week, and we'll do it live on here. We'll put it all in a little whatever thing is to sort through all the names and get the winner live on the show. So go ahead and take care of that so that way you can win a free copy of that book. All right, guys, I think that's it for us today. We ate chimichangas and we talked a whole lot about the Merc with the Mouth Deadpool. So great episode. First time we've ever done one like this, where it's really been just a bunch of comic books. So it's been a really, really good time. It was a fun collab episode with our Optic Blast guys because they did a lot on their episode over on their show on YouTube, and we encourage you to go check that out. If you didn't know, we're all part of this thing called Hipster Goblin Media, and really what we try to do is we try to create content from the nerd space. It's safe for work. It's safe for you to listen to with your kids in the car. I know we're talking about Deadpool, so we had to tread lightly this week. And so, because Deadpool's definitely not so PG friendly, but really, really fun movie, really, really fun comic. So thanks for the Optic Blast broadcast dudes for being a part of it this week. Blake, you're the man, dude. Always good.
Dude, thanks for having us on, man. It's always a blast to come hang out with you guys. So anytime you need to get into some stuff with the comic books, you know who to call.
Dude, it won't be the last time you're on here.
No.
It won't be the last time. And so, guys, we have a lot of things coming up. And like Robert said, we're going to have a post coming up here shortly, maybe the day after you hear this episode, that gives you all the details on how to win the book. So from the book club book. So we want you to go ahead and get ready for that. Robert, where can you find us at?
You can find us over on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Goodreads at the Nerdy Reads Podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. It really helps us out a lot. We appreciate you guys.
All right. And really, last but not least, we'll just give you one little CTA. Really want to encourage you guys. Again, I know we've already talked about it, but be sure to look for that post that's coming out tomorrow. So it'll be out tomorrow for the book. I think that we'll finalize that. We'll seal that in stone, etch it in stone. Tomorrow, be looking for it. Win your free copy. You guys know we cannot end an episode. We will not ever end an episode of the Nerdy Reads podcast without our advice from our boy, the one and only, sweet baby Dylan, the needle mover. Hit us, bro.
Listen.
That was excessive amount of breathing in the microphone too, bro.
I heard the wind coming through the gap.
Listen. If you're going to go to a haunted house, wear your brown pants.
Oh, Blake, bro, what?
I didn't know we were going to get vinegar strokes. Bye.
Here on the Nerdy Reads podcast, we enjoy a good story. We believe that your story matters, so be good to each other and stay nerdy, our friends. Say bye, everybody.
Adios.
Later.